Hello, everyone. I want to talk to you briefly about something that's pretty heavy, that's been on my heart, and I've been on a few radio shows, and the subject has come up, and we've really been talking about it, and that's HIV and its prevention, and the DL movement or whatever. So, I want to talk briefly about my views on all of this stuff because they are a little controversial, and that's okay because everyone doesn't have to agree with me. But first of all, we have to look at certain facts. And those facts are that HIV is growing at an alarming rate. I have many personal friends who are HIV positive. I have a lot of people that I've known over the years that have passed away from HIV. And so this subject is very, very dear to my heart and something that I do take very seriously. But what I don't like are people who get in the media's face and they want to make it seem like not only is that HIV is still just a very gay disease, which is absolutely ridiculous because the leading infection rates are in African American women right now. And so we need to address this. That, first of all, we have to get over that whole stereotype. But moreover, we need to stop thinking that the only reason why this stuff is spreading is because gay men are giving it to women. And I think that that's so ridiculous that, I don't know about you, but none of my gay male friends like women. So that's the first crazy thing that society is pushing forth as an excuse for the contraction of HIV that's just growing. Um, Now, the thing that really kills me is that what they're trying to do is say all this stuff about, well, it's DL men that are giving it to these ladies and blah, 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 blah. I think that we should change that thought process altogether, even if that was the prevalent case, which is not. But even if that was the case, when are we as women going to take more responsibility for ourselves and our actions? It is no one else's fault necessarily that you contract HIV, because not all the time. Let me clear that up. There are times where if you're married and someone is stepping out and you're of course not protecting yourself because you're with someone that you're supposedly monogamous with, and they end up catching it and they give it to you, or you've been raped, that's a horrible situation. Of course, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is the majority of the cases happen from people still not protecting themselves, still not using condoms, whether vaginal or whether, the traditional condom. They're not using it. And here in our community, in the African American community particularly, you have these younger girls who are catching HIV. I was to tears talking to one of my exes who's a school teacher, and he was telling me of a girl who was 15 years old. And not only was she HIV positive, but this girl's self esteem was such that she was going around and giving head in the bathroom to a line of men and charging $5 for it. And I will say boys because they're like high school age. And, this is going on. And there's stuff like this that's happening around the country. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, he had to, I was so taken aback by the story and just how so many of those young boys were affected because they all had to go get tested. And this young woman, her reputation was all over the place. And of course, I'm pretty sure she probably had to relocate and go to another school just to have a normal life. But we need to stop blaming everyone else. That's not going to solve the problem. I do a lot of volunteer work, and I volunteered at a number of organizations for people with HIV and for the prevention of the disease. And what you see time and time again are people who are not protecting themselves. Instead of us trying to point the finger at a whole group of people, why don't we take responsibility for ourselves? And moreover, again, as I'm always on top of women to be stronger and to take responsibility for yourself, because you're the only person that can control your life and your destiny. No matter what someone brings to you, no matter what someone says to you, your responsibility is to take care of yourself, your body, and your children. And what really bothers me is that a lot of you are not using protection. Use protection. You don't know what other people are doing. None of us know what our husband, boyfriend, if you're lesbian, if what your girlfriend is doing. No one knows what anyone else is doing 24 hours a day. You can't follow them 24 hours a day. The only thing you can do is protect yourself. Protect yourself first. Stop blaming other people and stop thinking that it's not going to happen to you, because guess what? It just might, and there's no taking it back. Thankfully, with medication and research, a lot of people that I do know that have HIV are living longer. They're living amazing lives. They're staying very healthy. And those that stay on top of it, you would never even know. And that's part of the problem, because if you are having all of this casual sex, which seems to be the norm these days, it seems to be that's what the hot thing that everyone wants to do, and we can't understand why relationships are just not strong anymore. We can't understand why the divorce rates are so high. And we want to point the blame at everybody else, every other community, everything except for ourselves. Ladies, protect yourself, because this HIV is not playing. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. This epidemic, it was something that we thought in the community of for those who are trying to help prevent this disease that people would get, that it's not a gay disease. It's not just DL brothers that are going around infecting you. There are straight people who are out here giving the disease to other straight people. Period. You can believe DL Hughley and all these other people if you want to, and you will lay there and allow someone to infect you with this disease. So it's imperative that you take control of your life, that you say that I'm worth more than relying on someone else, that I need to go ahead and protect myself. And as a woman of color, seeing so many other women of color contract this disease, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And so over the past month, I've definitely been talking about it. Of course, radio show hosts like to talk about a lot of different things, and it's been a subject that I've been meaning to talk about on this vlog. Protect yourself. Don't worry about anyone else, because you're the only person, the only one that can control your actions. So, hopefully this will be helpful. Hopefully that this will save the lives of some people, and open their perspective to what is happening with this disease. The facts are out there, and the statistics are staggering. Protect yourself, love yourself, because I love you. So take care. Bye.